Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Dr. Aftab Ahmed, from the program Innovative Pakistan with Dr. Aftab, and we welcome back all of you. We had a short break because we have to share some important information about the flood situation in Pakistan from the Minister of Information. So he was just speaking about the situation in our country and the measures that the government is taking for the current situation, although it's very disturbing because so many people are affected by the flood and there are so many casualties. So we have to take all the measures and also all the precautionary measures so we can save more lives. So with us in the studio is Professor Ahmet Nuri. He's the president of AASSA, and we were having the discussion before this news break. We were having the discussion about AASSA and different projects. So he was sharing that AASSA is not limited to Asian countries. It has now expanded to oceanic region, and also they are going to collaborate with the Pacific region. And they also have a very active collaboration with IAP, that is Inter-Academy Partnership, and they are doing the projects in collaboration. So he was sharing that each year they arrange a number of activities, and this year there was a proposal from Pakistan Academy of Sciences about a symposium on radiation techniques in environment and health. And that's actually going on these days because it started on 18th and it will be till tomorrow. And Professor Ahmet Nuri, the president of AASSA, is also the chief guest of this program that is happening in Pakistan Academy of Sciences. So we are really thankful to him for spending time for us, and he is with us in the studio. So without further delay, let's continue the discussion about AASSA and different projects of AASSA that he was sharing with us.
Thank you. One activity we do is to support symposium proposals by our members. As I said earlier, every year, depending upon our budget, we financially support 4 or 5 activities proposed by our member academies. And this year, proposal by Pakistan Academy of Science about radiation techniques in health and environment was chosen by our executive board for support.
Right.
So that's why I am here, and the symposium is going on. We will have other symposiums throughout the year. For example, in October, we are going to have a symposium in Kuala Lumpur, another activity proposed by Academy of Science of Malaysia, and we already had activities until this time of the year. Apart from symposiums, we also support committees. We have 4 committees, scientific committees. Women in Science and Engineering Committee, Sustainability Committee, Science Education Committee, and Share Committee, which means Science, Health, Agriculture, and Risk Communication.
Okay, very nice. So these are very important initiatives.
These committees are formed by eminent scientists of our member academies. Our member academies proposed suitable scientists, and executive board decides the membership of committee. And I'm happy to say that Pakistan Academy of Sciences has always been represented in those committees. And Pakistani scientists contributed greatly. Especially I would like to mention the contribution in Women in Science and Engineering Committee. These committees indeed organize some workshops, and also they do some work like profiling of women scientists in Asia. That is something I think for the first time in the world AASSA did. It was a project led by Australian Academy of Science, and we supported them. So eminent women scientists in Asia, all over Asia, profiles of them were brought together. And then this project had such an impact that IAP taken up it, and they did the same project globally.
Okay, very nice.
Another activity we do is to publish some books, some reports. For example, we published education in K-12 level.
Okay.
We published a report, education system in our member countries up to K-12 level,
Okay.
so that our members were able to see different types of education. For example, in that book, you will see the Korean education system, Japanese, Pakistani, Turkish. So that's another. So these are the major activities. Of course, international representation is another activity. We cooperate with other international organizations, basically with IAP and International Science Council, and also we cooperate with the Union of Science Academies of Turkic World. It's a new organization. So I'm working with AASSA almost 8 years. I would say that AASSA, with its limited resources, supporting its members. And yesterday I was having discussion with Professor Aslan Bey, General Secretary of Pakistan Academy of Science, and that was my impression throughout science organizations in the world, that compared to many other international science organizations, AASSA, I would say, most responsive to its members.
Okay, very nice. That's very
and
impressive.
that idea, when I said, Professor Aslam also shared the same view. I mean, he agreed with me. So I think if these organizations, international organizations, not only in science organizations, you know, I'm an international politics expert. If an international organization, let's say United Nations, or other organizations,
Right.
if they are to be successful and if they are to be active and exist for long-term period,
Right.
Participation by members is crucial.
That's very important. Right.
I mean, if an organization is dominated by a single member or dominated by headquarters, secretariat,
Right.
that organization, I think, it might go on, but it does not contribute much to members.
Right.
The secret, in my view, is membership participation, and of course, some members may participate, some members may remain passive, some members may become more active. That's the case for every organization. But the thing is, membership participation should be balanced with headquarter administration.
Right.
If the organization is heavily dependent upon headquarters, the secretariat, that organization, I would say, did not contribute much to its members. And I'm happy to say that AASSA is a membership organization. And for example, according to our constitution, the president appoints the members of special committees.
Okay.
But neither myself nor my predecessors, we did not directly appoint members of those committees. We ask our members.
Okay, very nice. So there is a like mixed representation from all the members countries and all the societies and
Exactly,
academies.
exactly. So that is one thing we are very keen on. And also another thing is we positively discriminate women scientists. It's a fact that all over the world,
Right.
and to some extent in Asia, women scientists need much more encouragement than males.
Right.
So that is why we have Women in Science and Engineering Committee, and we have a prize program.
Okay.
And this prize program only for young women scientists.
Okay, excellent.
Not for male scientists, not for senior women scientists.
Okay.
Young women scientists in the fifth until the 5th year of their PhD.
Okay.
Not biological age. So during the until the 5th year of their PhD,
okay.
They could apply to this prize program. So we support them to participate in international scientific programs.
Okay.
Every year we choose 4 or 5 young women scientists, and we support them to participate in international scientific conferences. Each of them may get 2 or 2005 US dollars.
Okay.
So this way we encourage young women scientists, because senior scientists, they have resources.
Right.
They could get fund. It is not easy for young scientists to get fund. Probably you know.
That's true. So this is actually, I wanted to ask further as well. So I really appreciate the efforts of AASSA that they are doing for the women scientists, as you have the committee as well, and you have many programs. And this is also, I wanted to ask, like, what are different programs from AASSA for early career researchers, it's like both male and female, because this is the region, like if we talk about the Asian countries, mostly they have a young population, and now the enrollment in universities, that is, even if we talk about Pakistan, so around 500,000 graduates are producing each year. So we have like huge number of graduates, and mainly they are coming from the science field. So like what opportunities they are already there, and what you are planning for the early career researchers?
You see, AASSA, unfortunately, we don't have much resources. Our resources depends upon membership dues,
Okay.
and donation by IAP, donation by UNESCO through IAP,
Okay.
and also some private donations. But we don't get much donations, unfortunately.
Okay.
But the prize program is a donated program. We get donations from UNESCO and memberships. So because of our because of the limitation in our resources, we don't have program as much as we want to encourage scientists and early career scientists. We prioritize young women scientists.
Okay, excellent. So they are definitely looking for more resources, and in the future with your leadership, I'm sure that there will be more funding in AASSA, and this is how you will be able to support the early career researchers as well, just like you are supporting the women scientists. So
I hope so.
Yeah. So another thing that we would like to discuss in this program, and being like you have served as the vice president of TUBA, that is the Turkish Academy of Sciences, and definitely, as you are also mentioning in the startup program, that you have signed the MOU with the Pakistani Academy of Sciences. So we have, Pakistan and Turkey have brotherly relations since centuries. So we are like in a very good coordination. So there is a need to strengthen the ties between the two countries, and there are so many programs which are going on. So especially what you are like now focusing on, being based in Turkey and coming to Pakistan. So this is now your first visit. You came earlier as well, and now you are in Pakistan. So what do you are thinking? What are like existing programs that you have started, just like you have mentioned the MOU with Pakistan Academy of Sciences. So how do you see how we can even foster the relations between the two countries, especially in science and technology?
Thank you. As I said, and as you mentioned, I was vice president of Turkish Academy of Sciences for 4 years, and during my tenure, we initiated the signing of MOU between Turkish Academy of Science and Pakistan Academy of Science during the visit of Turkish Prime Minister, the former Turkish Prime Minister Davutoğlu, in 2015.
Okay.
According to this MOU, two academies will collaborate in scientific programs. There is no limitation. They will decide what kind of projects, what kind of programs they will do together. But one thing specifically mentioned in the MOU is the exchange of scientists.
Okay.
A short-term exchange of scientists.
Mhm.
According to this MOU, a Pakistani scientist, for example, could visit a scientific institution in Turkey,
Okay.
a university or a research institute, whatever. His travel is up to him or up to Pakistan Academy of Science.
Right.
But during his or her stay in Turkey, up to 4 weeks, local expenses, all local expenses will be covered by Turkish Academy of Sciences.
Okay, excellent. So this
So
is really good initiative. Yeah.
this is something which encourage cooperation between individual scientists.
Right.
Yesterday I discussed it with Professor Aslam, and it's good, but not many scientists use it.
Right.
So I encourage him to get in touch with Tuba Turkish Academy of Science and to activate it.
Yes,
So-
definitely. So as you even mentioned now, we will definitely work on this. And there is need, like we can have more exchange. Even the researchers should be coming to Pakistan. In Pakistan, we have some center which are really excellent, as you might have also visited. So
Exactly.
we will be happy to host the researchers
I mean,
from
Turkish
Turkey.
science, they may come to Pakistan and they could collaborate with their colleagues. But apart from this, as you mentioned, I mean, Turkey and Pakistan, they have a long history of friendship. I mean, when we come here, we feel at home.
Oh, very nice.
And I would say that as an international politics scholar, the friendship between Turkish people and Pakistani people is well established, and it does not get influenced by political fluctuations.
Right.
That is something very rare among countries.
That's actually very deeply
whatever
rooted.
happens politically in Pakistan or whatever happens politically in Turkey, it does not affect friendship between Turkish and Pakistani people.
Right.
That is something great. And officially and politically, Turkish and Pakistani governments, they have cooperation and they have mutual understanding. So, despite we have such a long established friendship between these two countries and well established friendship not only among administrations but between peoples, I would say that the degree of scientific collaboration does not match this friendship.
Right.
I think there should be much more scientific collaboration between Turkish scientific community and Pakistan scientific community, and that's the job we as members of TUBA or Pakistan Academy of Science and international scientific organizations like AASSA, we need to encourage.
So what do you think? This point is very important, as you have raised that we have very deep-rooted relations between the two countries, but the scientific cooperation is not up to that limit. So what do you think? What are the hindrances? You have, like, you are expert of international relations. So how we can? What are the hindrances? What are the challenges? And how we can overcome those challenges so we can have like better collaboration between the two countries?
One reason probably funding. I mean, for example, a Turkish scientist, when he or she gets funding, that funding, most of them are used within Turkey.
Okay.
Maybe the same is true for Pakistan scientists. So what we need funding organizations. I mean, Turkish Academy of Science is not a funding organization. Pakistan Academy of Science is not a funding organization. But in Turkey, for example, TÜBİTAK, Turkish Technological Institution, it's the chief funding organization.
Okay.
In Pakistan, National Science Foundation, it's the chief funding organization. So these chief funding organizations, they should come up with different modalities of funding to encourage collaboration between scientists. For example, something like this: we are going to support your proposal on the condition that you get at least 20 or 30% scientists from Turkey,
Okay.
or vice versa.
Right.
So that's one, we need such modalities. That another reason, I think. I mean, I know that in the past, for example, TÜBİTAK for 2 or 3 years for a pilot project supported cooperation between Turkey and Pakistan. Despite this, why this cooperation does not match the degree of friendship and political cooperation, official cooperation? Another reason I would say is that both Turkish scientific community and to some extent Pakistan scientific community, when they have international activities or when they have international cooperations, this is changing now, by the way, but they look at the West.
Right, that's true.
That's another reason. I mean, Turkish scientists, they want to get partners from Germany. They want to get partners from United Kingdom. They want to get partners from United States.
Right.
The same for Pakistan. They want to get partners from Germany or United. I think that's another reason. But this is changing.
Yes,
this
right
is
now
changing, but it is still effective.
Okay.
So, in other words, on the one hand, we need to introduce new projects, new models. On the other hand, we need to change the attitudes.
Okay.
I think that's
so excellent. Yeah, so it's excellent. And if I wrap up the discussion, so Professor Ahmed, he has pointed out that there are like two main challenges, and one is the funding, and other is the collaboration between the West and also Turkey and Pakistan. So they're mainly looking at that, and we have to change this model so we can have better collaboration. As we have initiated several programs with China, so I think on the similar lines, we should initiate several programs with Turkey, because we have a very friendly relation with the country, and they are open. Even I had the meeting with Dr. Irfan, the ambassador of Turkey in Pakistan, and he also he told that he will provide the full support for any like scientific collaboration between the two countries, and I think we should utilize this. So being like professor of international relations and being the president of AASSA, so how do you look about the science in Asian countries? So in some of the Asian countries, like the science is booming now in China, the things are very much changing. Chinese universities are now in the top ranked universities. Japan has there is a lot of innovation and science in Japan. In Korea is booming from 1960s, so they have done a lot of good work. Singapore is has done a great job. So there are so many Asian countries who are top ranked in the world in terms of science. But on the other side, some of the countries, they are facing so many. If we talk about Afghanistan, for example, Sri Lanka to some extent, they are also having the if we talk about Nepal, for example, Bhutan, if we talk about some of the Middle Eastern countries, so they are facing the challenges. So how, being these disparities with the AASSA, so how you are in the future, how you are thinking that how we can promote the science in the whole Asian region? That's one thing. Another is the cooperation between the already existing science centers, just like the European Union now is they have huge funding for science. America has done a lot of funding for the science. So the cooperation between these countries and also the cooperation within the Asian countries.
Thank you. That's a very good point. No, we must admit that Europe and United States, or more popularly North America, they were, and in many areas they are still ahead of the world.
Right.
You are right that we see developments in China, Japan, Korea, but we need to wait and see whether it is sustainable.
Right.
You remember in 1980s and early 1990s, Asian countries economically boomed.
Right.
And we spoke of Asian tigers. But nowadays we do not spoke of Asian tigers because that was not sustainable.
Right.
So what we need
Mm-hmm.
is such scientific developments we see in Singapore, in Korea, Japan, China,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to spread them around Asia,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to make them sustainable.
Right.
To make it sustainable, what we need, I think, two things are crucial.
Right.
One is institutionalization.
Mm-hmm.
That is very important,
Right.
because when you look at those countries which are ahead of others in terms of scientific development, like Western Europe,
Right.
North America,
Mm-hmm.
and to some extent, I would say Japan and South Korea,
Mm-hmm.
they are ahead of the others.
Right.
China is new. That's a special case. China is a special case.
Right.
One thing is common for all of them. So these countries, Western Europe, North America, and Far East, South Korea and Japan,
Mm-hmm.
they have different histories.
Okay.
They have different traditions.
Mm-hmm.
They have different cultures.
Right.
But they have something common.
Mm-hmm.
All of them some institutionalization.
Okay.
So we need to institutionalize our science organizations.
Right.
When science organizations, like let's say Pakistan Academy of Science, Turkish Academy of Science, or National Science Foundation, TÜBİTAK, when these institutions, when these organizations are institutionalized,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes sustainable.
Right.
That is one thing,
Mm-hmm.
institutionalization. The second one is some degree of autonomy.
Okay.
Some degree of autonomy of science organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Autonomy from government,
Okay.
autonomy from society,
Mm-hmm.
autonomy from business.
Okay.
This is, of course, not easy to understand. And
True.
when I talk to this in Turkish to some people, I mean, if the government pays all, why should government not intervene?
Mm-hmm.
The reason is what Western Europeans in history, Americans and South Koreans, Japan did. They allowed autonomy. Why? Because autonomy is I'm not saying complete independence, a
Right.
relative degree of autonomy. Because we need some degree of supervision.
Right.
Autonomy paves the way for creativity.
Mm-hmm. True.
Without being automotive, if a scientist is not autonomous,
Mm-hmm.
if he or she is dependent upon somebody else, he or she cannot be creative.
Right.
Without creativity, you cannot have scientific development.
Mm-hmm.
So for Asia then, the challenge is institutionalization
Mm-hmm.
and autonomy for creativity.
Okay.
Recently, last year, we had a Science Academies of Asia platform organized and hosted by Korean Academy of Science and Technology last November.
Okay.
And I was there, and Pakistan Academy of Science was represented by Professor Aslam.
Okay.
And in that platform, the presidents of Asian science academies, they came together,
Okay.
22 of them, they came together, and they discussed how we enhance scientific cooperation in Asia.
Right.
And all these issues discussed, but then a question comes. Okay, but we need concrete proposals.
Mm-hmm.
We need concrete frameworks
Okay.
to make it work. So one idea, for example, and the concrete proposals, concrete frameworks, you cannot always initially plan them.
Okay.
They may emerge during the process. But one idea at that time came, why not a A common Asian research fund,
Mm-hmm.
like European research fund,
Right.
like European framework programs.
Mm-hmm.
So if we Asian science academies, Asian science organizations, if they come together and if they are supported by governments and other organizations, if they initiate an Asian research fund
Right.
for proposals based upon competitive evaluation,
Mm-hmm.
then we get the best scientists, the best
Definitely.
proposals in Asia. So we need such programs. But how we could do this? We could do this with more cooperation among science organizations
Right.
and more support by governments.
So I think this is really excellent, and these are real word of wisdom for us. And Professor Ahmed, he has just mentioned that there are two important things for the Asian countries, and that is institutionalization, that we have to make the institutions, we have to work on the institutionalization, and the other thing important is autonomy. We also have to give the autonomy to the science societies, because that is also very, very important, that we have to give the autonomy so they can work independently but under some supervision. So, and the proposal is really great, that from the recent meeting, that there should be, just like the European Union, they have even the organizations, just like we have European molecular biology laboratories in different countries, and there are many other, because I'm biologist, so I know the EMBL, so they are in different European countries, and they have the mutual funds. So similarly, the Asian countries, they can also start the mutual research funds, so they can support the more competitive scientists and more competitive projects, and this is how the Asian countries will also prosper. So these words are very important for, I'm sure the audience, they will love it, because these are the practical suggestions with lot of experience Professor Ahmed has, and these are the things we have to act now to improve the innovation in the Asian countries. So at the end, because we have taken a lot of time of Professor Ahmed, so at the end we would like to have some message for our audience, being like, what is your experience in Pakistan? You have visited Pakistan before, and right now you are in Pakistan. So how you feel being in Pakistan, and also what the message you would like to give to our Pakistani audience?
As I already said, I feel at home.
Very nice.
My first visit was 10 years ago. It was again in Islamabad.
Okay.
Like this one, it was a short visit for 3 days, and because I don't have much time, so I'm going to stay 3 days this time as well. But I feel at home. And secondly, although I didn't have much chance to explore around, to see about Islamabad, I'm impressed with how green it is.
Okay.
It's a green city, so that's something I'm impressed. And of course, coming from Turkey, Islamabad is kind of special for us because the chief architecture, Faisal Masjid, as you know, designed by a Turkish architect.
Okay, excellent.
Your audience may know it. So that's something unique. That's a very unique and authentic architecture, and it's in Islamabad.
Right.
So. And for Pakistani people and for our Pakistani colleagues, my message is no need to be pessimistic. We should keep being optimistic.
Okay, very nice. So with the message that we have to be optimistic, there is a lot of room for the improvement, and improvement can also be done. We had a very excellent discussion, and the message was also very clear. During the discussion, if I can wrap up the thing, so we have the discussion about AASSA. AASSA is doing wonderful work in Asia, and it's not limited to Asia now, it has expanded to other countries. Then we had the discussion between the bilateral relations between Turkey and Pakistan, and Professor Ahmed, he has a very nice suggestion that we we have to improve these relations, especially at the institutional level, so we can have more exchange of scientists between the two countries, and not only the scientists, but we should work on the mutual projects. And lastly, we had the discussion that the Asian countries can also be improved if we go towards the institutionalization, and also if we give autonomy to the scientific bodies. So very good word of wisdom from Professor Ahmed, and we are very much delighted and thankful to him for sparing time for us at Radio Pakistan FM 87.6. And with this we thank you him once again for joining us in the studio. And if you have like anything that is related to innovation, do join us at FM 87.6, and we will definitely highlight your stories of innovation, science and technology. Thank you.